Hello and welcome to Faithful Grace Studio. I'm Mindy. I'm the creator here at Faithful Grace. And today I'd like to show you my version of the finished project planners. So let's get them out of the tray so we can see them. I did just clean off my mat, so let's make sure it's good and dry before I put these paper planners down here. All right. A little fan back up. There we go. Nice and dry. Okay. So this is the Pink Peonies. That's hard to say. Pink Peonies Project Planner. This is the Pastel Butterflies Project Planner, and this is the Pink and Mustard and Watercolor Floral Project Planner. Now, I know those names are mouthfuls. What is important for you to know is that each kit comes with 2 different sizes already pre-planned for you. So you can make this planner in this size, and you could also make it in a full size. Same with this one and same with this one. All right, so let me tell you about these. I chose to again, this is the Pink Peonies. I chose to make these 2 small, and there's only 1 project pack in here. These kits come with obviously the cover. I did staple this one because I was in a hurry, so I did put some clear book tape over it just to keep them from catching on anything. Here's a planner kit. Comes with the some ephemera. There's 3 of these little kind of library card type cards that you could make notes on or attach pictures to. They're in this little pocket. We've got a project planner page. We've got supplies and tools, and then we've got a project summary page for a project. And then we also have room for sketches, dimensions, additional notes and ideas. Got more sketching if you wanted to, more notes, more ideas, pictures. You could use this as a scrapbook to put your, when I do a big project, especially if it's something big or something I've never done before that I think I may want to do again, I take pictures all throughout the different steps, and that way I can see my progress, and when I refer back to it, or 2 years from now if I want to make another one, I can see the step-by-step photos. So you could use that. Plenty of room here. Here's another little pocket. This would be great for receipts or color swatches or things like that, depending on what your project is. You got a brain dump sheet that lets you put more ideas and projects. And every time I do a big project, for instance, I just did an antique mirror. It was kind of antique to start with, but it didn't really look antique. So I made it look antique, and put a decal on the front and made it look like one of the old mirrors that you'd see in an old shop, or something like that. And I loved it. I love it. I love the process, but I learned so much through the process, and thinking about things I could have used differently or other ways to use some of the techniques I learned. So this brain dump sheet would be great for that. Project notes, you could do that, whatever you want to with it, and then more ideas and notes. So I just put one, here's a little bookmark. I just put one, enough for one project in this, because my thought is, for these smaller ones, each project will have its own little thing. You guys know that I kind of work in a compartmentalized process. So each of my paper projects like these has its own tray. And so on that tray is not only all the pieces that go with a project, but it could also have a planner, not necessarily my paper stuff, because I kind of wing that a lot, but my other projects could go, this could go with it. I have 4 of those big tubs with the plastic tubs with the lids, like you see it, that you put Christmas decorations and things like that in it. Anyway, I have 4 of those that are full of partially completed projects, and it would be great to have one of these with each project to help me figure out where I left off, what I was waiting on, what piece I'm missing, things like that. So that's why I did these 2 smaller, and didn't make a big robust planner out of it for multiple projects. I did the same with this one. It's just got enough for one in it. The project planner, here's actually 2 little pockets that I layered on top of each other. The sketches and dimensions, the completion summary, some ideas, some more notes and brained up sheets and all that, your supplies, project notes, and another little pocket. So each of these kind of are very similar, and it could be, this is a project, this is a project. And the other thing that I like about this, sometimes when I do projects, especially something outside of paper crafts or digital design, junk journaling, things like that, somebody will say, oh, I'd love to know how you did that. Okay, well, here's the directions right here and all my pictures. And I wouldn't be giving them anything else, just what would go with that one project. And I think that's a neat concept. So that's why I did these the way I did them. So these are the 2 little ones, pastel butterflies, pink peonies, and then this one I'm in love with. I'm in love with the mustard and the pink together. There's watercolor flowers in it. But here's what I really like about this one. I've never done a big accordion binding before. I've done smaller ones. I've shown you, I think I showed you one in one of my other videos that I made out of the side of an accordion folder. You know, those cardstock thick expanding folders that you get that you put files and stuff in. One of them tore, but the end piece that was all accordion folded was still in really good shape. So I just cut it up and used it to bind a small junk journal. But I've never done something this big, and I've never done it from scratch. So I was really proud of myself that this worked out. I made a lot of mistakes. You can see I didn't get things even. I didn't get them even here. The pages aren't even. I didn't get them glued in evenly. All of that. But I like the way that it turned out. So I'll show you, let's see if I can kind of show you this way. I'll show you this way. See how it's put together? I don't know if you can tell. That's basically 3 sheets of cardstock folded at 1-inch increments. If I had it to do over again, I would do 1/2 inch, but I didn't know, and I was just trying. So I folded it at 1-inch increments. So it's 8.5 by 11. I trimmed off 1/2 inch and then folded it, scored it where it would fold at 1 each intervals. And then glued each piece. You can see, let's see, let's get back here. This piece is, you can see just how it's just barely glued on there, just like maybe 1/4 inch or a little bit less. It's glued on the back side of one of the accordions, and then another piece is glued on, another piece is glued on. And here's why I love it. And then after I got them all glued on, then I took this piece of fabric lined with book tape and just glued it around the outside to kind of keep it from completely unfolding, but it's loose enough to where it's still, I'm in love with it because it lays flat. It will literally, I can lay it flat, work on it, write in it. Look, it's just so easy to work with. Look at that. I just love the way that it opens. It'll stay open. So if I'm working on something and I'm trying to read, it'll stay open. I have enough, I printed enough for, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4. This could hold 4 projects, and then bring, dump, and project ideas. And then there's some folders. Here's the little index library cards that come with it, a couple of folders for other pictures and things like that. So I really like the way this turned out. I like the way that it was that I put it together. I will do a lot of things differently next time, which is, like I said, this is the first time I've done one from scratch and this large. I've done smaller ones, not from scratch. So that was one of the reasons I didn't video, because you would not have wanted to see the process. The next one I do, I will know much better about, and I may even do that one on video. But for now, I'm in love with this one. I can't wait to start using it. I have a couple of projects right now that this is going to help me get organized on, and I will probably do future projects, future products in my Etsy shop with this color scheme, because I absolutely love it. I'm in love with the pink and the mustard. So there we have it. I hope you enjoyed kind of watching this process, looking through these project planners, and I hope you enjoy making your own.